Hello and welcome to this edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. It's Tuesday, October 21, and we're coming to you from the historic Port Royal. Earlier this year, Port Royal officially dropped anchor on the UNESCO World Heritage List. On July 12, it was formally inscribed, and by August 25, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Olivia Grange received the official certificate. We have a lot lined up just for you, but first, let's sail on to the break. Keep your anchor intact. We'll be right back.
Negril! The Government Services Mobile Fair is rolling into your community on Friday, October 31. Come to the Negril Beach Park, Norman Manley Boulevard for passport renewal, legal aid assistance, apply for birth certificates, road licenses, path benefits, new business registration, property tax and NWC services. Get information on the National Housing Trust, plus free health checks and much more. Come out and celebrate the Government of Jamaica Service Excellence Month as we bring government services to your doorstep.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, October 21, 2025. On Heroes Day, 228 Jamaicans were bestowed national honors and awards during the 56th staging of the ceremony of investiture at King's House. Among them were 143 civilians, 3 of whom received the Order of Jamaica, the country's 4th highest honor. This year's OJ recipients are Chief Executive Officer of the JMMB Group and Government Senator Keith Duncan, former Mayor of Kingston and long-serving Minister of Local Government Desmond McKenzie, and the former Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Marlene Street Forrest. 36 individuals were also given the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander, while 44 persons received the Order of Distinction in the rank of Officer. The only badge of honor for gallantry given for the day went to 14-year-old Adrian Ajani Ellis, who earlier this year rendered first aid assistance to a fellow classmate. His quick action helped to save her life.
They were on the mall waiting for a taxi, so they started playing. She was running, and a fellow student tripped her. She hit her forehead on the curve wall, and it was bleeding badly. So I was like, what should I do? So I took off my undershirt and wrapped the wound till she got to the hospital.
Other awards included the Badge of Honor for Meritorious Service and the Badge of Honor for Long and Faithful Service. Among the 85 members of the uniformed groups who also received honors were members of the Jamaica Defense Force, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Department of Correctional Services, and the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is asserting that Jamaica must embrace artificial intelligence, AI, and advanced technology as it prepares for a reality where cyber technology and the physical world intersect. He was speaking at the Amber Group's 10th anniversary celebration and AI robotics showcase held recently at the AC Hotel in Kingston. Dr. Holness says the transformative potential of AI for national development is particularly important as the world undergoes a 4th industrial revolution where machines and technologies work independently to deliver service.
The solution is for us to use the technology to increase the level of training and skills in our society so that our people can take on higher order tasks which bring higher order pay. So the AI, it is actually an advantage for us if we embrace it and use it in the right way, not as a displacement of labor, but to ensure that our labor force gets the training, the experience to take on higher skilled, more sophisticated tasks that will grow our economy.
Dr. Holness also commended the Amber Group for its work on establishing the National AI Lab, which he says is a crucial element of Jamaica's broader technology strategy.
And we need more than just the one that we're going to develop at UTech. We need them right across the country, including in our primary schools, so that our children can become native to AI.
An agreement has been reached to purchase land for the expansion of the Montego Bay Comprehensive Health Center in St. James. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement during a recent press briefing at the S Hotel in Montego Bay.
You may have heard in the past where we said we were negotiating to acquire the lands next door to the Type 5 Health Center. Those lands have now been, we have an agreement with the owner of the land. There's a purchase agreement that is in place, and we're now going through the motions of that transaction, legal documentation and otherwise, to acquire that property.
Dr. Tufton says once the acquisition process is completed, the ministry will begin the design phase for an expanded and modern Type 5 health facility.
We will begin, as we work through the legalities, a process of looking at the existing Type 5 health center and doing a design or getting the appropriate professionals through the procurement process for a proper design and layout of what the new Type 5 will look like.
The expanded facility is expected to feature increased floor space, enhanced layout, dedicated parking, and overall improved patient comfort and service efficiency. Meanwhile, upgrading work is to be completed on several other primary healthcare facilities as the ministry continues to roll out its Operation Refresh program. Dr. Christopher Tufton says work on 14 health centers across the Western Regional Health Authority are at various stages of completion.
We have in the region Grange Hill, Betheltown, White House, Savlamar, Petersfield, Williamsfield, Georges Plain, that's in Westmoreland, Wakefield in Hanover, in Trelawney, Falmouth, Duncans, Low River, Bounty Hall, Mount Carey in St. James, and Cave Valley in Hanover.
The upgrades will enhance the look, feel, and functionality of the facilities for improved patient care and work environment for staff. Dr. Tufton stresses that strengthening primary health care is critical to preventing and managing lifestyle-related illnesses, which now account for a growing number of emergency room visits.
What you will see is a continued rolling over of, as we finish one, we add another. And over the next number of years, you will see us upgrading our health centers as a matter of course. We think that's where we cauterize the problem of lifestyle-related diseases and keep the overcrowding out of our hospitals.
Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, Matthew Semuda, is calling on regional member states of the United Nations to act as guardians of the Caribbean Sea as the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution continues to unfold daily before the eyes of Caribbean citizens.
In being guardians of the sea, we need to ensure that our own targets are as ambitious as they can be, and that we continue to press the international community to honor the commitments that it has indeed made.
Minister Semuda made the call during the recent ceremony for the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP's 18th meeting of the contracting parties, COP18, for the Cartagena Convention. He underscored the enduring importance of the Charter, which is officially titled the Convention for the Protection and Development of the Marine Environment of the Wider Caribbean Region. It is a legally binding regional treaty adopted in 1983 under the auspices of UNEP to protect and sustainably manage the marine environment of the wider Caribbean region. It's also intended to promote regional cooperation among Caribbean states to address marine pollution, habitat degradation, and biodiversity loss.
We must work through the convention and other such mechanisms to ensure that we're able to tackle the triple planetary crisis in a practical way in our backyard. Not sitting by simply as victims of this crisis, but as active participants in the solutions that are indeed available to us.
And finally, the severe weather alert issued for Jamaica has been updated to a tropical storm watch as the Met Service reports the potential for a tropical cyclone to form in the Central Caribbean later today. This means tropical storm conditions could pose a possible threat to the island within 48 hours. Satellite, radar, and surface observations suggest that the area of low pressure over the Central Caribbean Sea is developing a well-defined center and is already producing winds up to 72 kilometers per hour. When the system is in the vicinity of Jamaica, it is expected to produce heavy rainfall and strong gusty winds, possibly reaching tropical storm force, primarily over northeastern and southern parishes late Wednesday and Thursday. The rainfall could continue into the weekend. For the marine areas, the forecast is for widespread showers and thunderstorms with strong gusty winds, possibly reaching tropical storm force. This is forecast to affect all marine zones on Wednesday and Thursday, especially inshore and offshore the south coast. As a result, fishers on the Keys and banks are advised to evacuate immediately and start returning to the mainland. Other small craft operators in our coastal waters are advised to return to port, and small craft operators who are in port are advised not to venture out. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Ever wonder what stories old building would tell if walls could ever talk? Well, we're listening in on one today as former chairman of the JNHT, Ainsley Henriquez, takes us on a trip down memory lane to the JNHT building, which was once home to the Legislative Assembly.
The Jamaica National Heritage Trust is more than just a building that houses artifacts. It's a symbol of our post- and pre-independence period. Also known as Headquarters House, the JNHT is just one of many buildings that tell the story of our rich history. It got the name because it was once the military headquarters of the War Office in 1814. The building was constructed in 1755 and was home of Thomas Hibbert. On November 12 that same year, the Legislative Assembly met there while Hibbert was acting as Speaker. It later became the seat of government and the office of the Colonial Secretariat from 1872 to 1960.
The government of the day in 1872 decided to move the capital from Spanish Town into Kingston. This became the center of governance. This is where the Legislative Council used to sit. And after 1944, this is where the beginning of governments by the Jamaican people, elected through universal adult suffrage, became the seat of governance. After 1944, we had a number of other constitutions which led us to self-government and ultimately to independence in 1962. So it was in this room that Bustamante and Manley and other great luminaries of the legislative period of governance from 1944 used to persuade their party members to vote in their favor. And as a result of a combined effort, we agreed to become independent, and we negotiated with Britain for the purposes of independence on June 6, 1962.
The size of the chamber would suggest that the number of government officials were few.
As a result of independence in 1962, the government also decided that they needed a new building to hold a larger parliament. And that's why Gordon House was created next door. So that's the joining relationship between this Legislative Council building, which is now the headquarters of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust, and Gordon House next door, in which our parliament sits. It's a very exciting corner of Jamaica, a very exciting corner of Kingston. And of course, the political parties today, when they march to Gordon House, one party moves from Headquarters House, as it is still known as, and the other party moves from the northern side of Duke Street and comes together in the Parliament. The cabinet room, or the room in which the government ministers sat, is upstairs, is in fact the boardroom of the trustees of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. Today, the building is used for a variety of different purposes, which include the storage of artifacts as well as the various departments of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. So it continues to be a very important building of history and heritage for our people. The fact that it was built in 1755 means that over these last 250 plus years, it has been subject to all sorts of natural disasters, including a fire next door which nearly took it down. So hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, and other natural disasters, this building has been able to survive them all.
Did you know that it was from this building on October 12, 1865, that Governor Edward John Eyre planned his attack against the St. Thomas freedom fighters? He declared martial law from this house on Friday, October 13. And it was also here that the Right Excellent George William Gordon was arrested in 1865 and taken to Marat Bay, where he was executed.
From walls that talk to drums that speak, let's head on over to the JCDC's Drum Fest, where contestants show off their talent and we hear how the drum connects deeply with our rich heritage. Hold on to your sailor's hat. Drums of Heritage is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Drum Fest 2019. We are here for Drum Fest. This is the premier section for drummers. It's equivalent to the national finals just for drummers. We wanted to improve the standard as well as get more persons involved in drumming and to see, the part it plays in our culture. So we had that Drum Fest separated, and once it started, there was no turning back because it caters to a different audience than national finals for instrumentalists and vocalists. Each year it's getting larger and larger. We have a total of 42 competitors. 42 competitors in terms of schools, but of course for the ensemble presentations you can have up to 14 persons in a group. We are talking about mostly our young people. We're talking about primary schools, prep schools, high schools, community groups all over Jamaica. We even have semi-professionals who enter the competition. We have some teachers of drums who also group up and enter. We have congas, we have djembes, we also have even the trap sets. We have all types of drums, African drums, Jamaican drums, and we have the auxiliary instruments that we use as well, maracas, we have cowbells. Check our history. From as far back as you can think, our African heritage and drumming. You say drum, you equate that to Africa. So we find that our students naturally, Jamaican students naturally gravitate towards drumming. They play syncopated rhythms just casually. They don't even realize how technical it is, and they don't understand really that what they are doing is not as easy as they think.
We basically come here to just motivate the kids and let them know that good drummers are here that they can learn from and they can actually have a career from this. Most people might not know, or most people might think that you can't have a career from our kind of music, which is hand drumming, but that is not so. Because if you take a look at, for instance, Chronix and Kabaka Pyramid, they have two percussionists on their band.
For me, it's just a way to express how I feel. You know, when you come home from, or when you leave school in the afternoon, a good drum rehearsal, feel good about yourself, release out of stress, and just a way to express yourself creatively and stuff. We've been to a lot of embassies with RD drummers. I really like it because I get to go places and meet a lot of people that are very important. Different experiences, you go all over Jamaica. It's just fun. It's a whole lot, it's a brotherhood because I'm not the only girl. Well, not really the only girl, but there are not a lot of girls. I play djembe, but if we're doing Jamaica rhythms, we play Jamaican drums like congas and stuff.
I also teach it in Ensom to the primary school, and the whole school want to join. Everyone put their hand in the air. Sir, me can't play. No, look here, me can't play. No. Like, that's great, you know, motivating and encouraging for us.
I like music and I want to do it in my career. I like that the sounds of the rhythm them and the type of songs I play with the rhythm.
It's nice to play, it encourages me and everybody else and feel the vibes and everything.
We would really want to make it bigger and better. We would want to have better prizes to give to the performers. They have worked really, really hard. And yes, we know they will be getting, trophies at the end, but we have others who are also excellent that we would want to give incentives and so on. So I see the competition going there.
According to the Jamaica Public Service Company, the average cost of electricity is $65 per kilowatt hour. Now, the television, it's a comfort appliance for many households, but if left on for long periods, it can quietly drive up your electricity bill. A 35-inch LCD LED TV used for 12 hours a day consumes about 29 kilowatt hours, that's roughly $1,885 per month. A 35-inch plasma TV used the same way eats up 66 kilowatt hours monthly, costing you about $3,960. And for those bigger screens, a 50-inch LCD LED TV on for 12 hours daily costs around $3,510 per month. But a 50-inch plasma TV, that'll burn through 108 kilowatt hours, costing a whopping $7,020 per month just to keep it on. For our energy tip, turn off your TV when not in use and consider switching to energy-efficient models like LED TVs. Every hour saved adds up on your bill.
The Dr. Bird isn't just our national bird. It's a symbol of our identity. We take a closer look at its significance next.
Look, do you see it? Can you tell which bird this is? There are over 300 species of hummingbirds in the world, and Jamaica has 4 types. Our national bird, the Dr. Bird, is one of those 4, and it's endemic to the island. That means it's only found right here in Jamaica. According to sources at the Institute of Jamaica, in 1962, a committee was established to consider the recommendations for the national emblems of the country. It was at that level that the red-billed streamer-tailed hummingbird, or Dr. bird, was chosen to be Jamaica's national bird.
We actually have two species of streamer-tails. One is the red-billed streamer-tail, one is the black-billed streamer-tail. The red-billed streamer-tail and the black-billed streamer-tail is considered by some authorities as two separate species. Here in Jamaica, we still consider them to be two species.
The red-billed streamer-tail can be found across most of the island except the eastern tip, where you'll find the black-billed streamer-tail. Hummingbirds' nests are made from small leafy materials woven together with cobwebs. There are about 2 eggs per clutch or grouping, usually one male and one female.
Hummingbirds are actually sexually dimorphic. In other words, there are two different forms for male and females. The male is actually a lot more flashy.
Jamaicans call the red-billed streamer-tail the Dr. bird because of the appearance of the male, with its black crest and 2 iconic tail feathers, resembling the top hat and coat tails of doctors in the past. The male Dr. bird also has shimmering green feathers on the chest and back, and a bright red bill with a black tip. The female looks very different because she has a short tail, white chest feathers, and slightly green feathers on the back. The female's bill is also dark brown with red at the base.
You can actually find males without a tail, and there are several reasons for this. One, it could be a young male, right? Born earlier this year, for example, it's going to take a while before those tail feathers actually grow in. And sometimes you'll actually see some with very short tail, which means it's growing in. Another reason they might lack a tail is that they might have molted it, that is, they change their feathers. After the feathers get worn out, they actually drop them and a new set of feathers actually grows in. Sometimes you'll find a male with one tail feather, it lost it for one reason or the other, it broke off, they could be fighting with each other and actually lost a tail feather. Hummingbirds, for their size, they're very tiny birds, but they're probably one of the most aggressive groups of birds in the entire world. The reason for this aggressive behavior is because of food scarcity. They have a group of flowers which they'll visit throughout the day because it takes some time for the nectar to replenish. Sometimes about half an hour, sometimes about an hour or longer. So what they do, they'll feed along a particular route, taking different flowers as they go along. And so once they finish feeding, they'll defend that area until it replenishes.
Hummingbirds flap their wings in a figure-8 motion, allowing them to change direction quickly as well as hover. But they are constantly burning so much energy that they must spend all day looking for food, only taking short rests in the shade.
Hummingbirds are considered nectar feeders, and there was a time when we believed these birds fed only on nectar from flowers. But in more recent times, we realize that they do actually take insects very occasionally, and we suspect it's really just to get some supplemental protein. In terms of the trees and the flowers that the hummingbirds feed on, I would like to highlight that the national tree, the blue maho, is actually one of the favorite flowers of the Dr. bird.
You can spot the Dr. bird at many of our public gardens across the island. For example, right here at the Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park, a United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization, UNESCO World Heritage Site. Look at that color, shimmering emerald green, and those 2 long tails. Our national bird is certainly a sight to behold.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Do join us again tomorrow when we'll bring another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website for more news and features you can use at gis.gov.jm. On behalf of all of us here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.